Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a build guide for the SUNWATCHER subclass of the Oakheart Sentinels made by Nightly_ST. This is an awesome mod and I just want to provide my thoughts on the SUNWATCHER, which embodies the warmth and brilliance of summer, radiating optimism wherever they go. As stalwart frontline warriors, they serve as the shield of their order, protecting the weak and defending the innocent with unwavering courage. With mastery over fire and radiant damage, they use the power of sunlight to fortify themselves and scorch their enemies, standing firm against any threat. So I'll be breaking this down as well as showing off gear options. So we do get some special spells here. We get the Orb of Summer, dealing fire damage, Compelled Duel, as well as the shield spell, which is very strong. We also get Blade Ward and the Oak Branch here. And for cantrips, I think it's best to go with a Thorn Whip here for pulling creatures closer to you. However, if you've got Mistress Spells mod, the Create Bonfire works good. This does require concentration. And I also went with Primal Savagery, although you can take whichever of these that you prefer best. Now for our spells, Thunderwave is huge for the pushback, and typically we're not going to use Create Water on a build that's focused, on fire, but I'll let you focus on the third word, Destroy Water, so we can actually remove water from this. So this is also a nice way to set up some other damage options if we want to, but we're going to roll with this for an ability score setup. So 18 Wisdom as we get a +3 in this class, 10 Intelligence, 14 Constitution, 16 Dexterity, 8 Strength, and Charisma. And for skill proficiencies, take the following. I like to always have Persuasion there just because it's good to have those dialogue checks. Now again, I'll be covering all the gear options in this video to give you the best choices to make the most out of this. But at level 2, we get ourselves the class feature Oakheart Casting Expertise. We carefully shape our spells. Also, the Oakheart Sentinels gets a Summon, which I'll show off how to make very powerful. For our next leveled spell, I think that the Healing Word works well. And we get to choose a class passive. Defense is pretty solid, but you have to be wearing armor for it to trigger. So you may want to save this until later on in the game, or if you can find a light armor that suits you. But the other ones don't really make a whole lot of sense because we're going to be mostly a spellcaster, so that's where extra armor class comes in handy. Now we get a subclass feature, Summer Child. So spells that you cast ignore resistance to fire and radiant damage. In addition, you cannot roll a 1 when rolling fire radiant. We also get ourselves Mirror Image and Searing Smite. Searing Smite, I like the spell, but using up your bonus action as well is a little bit risky. But we get ourselves level 2 spells here, so there's some fun fire focus ones like Heat Metal that you could potentially take. I'm a big fan of Spike Growth because the crowd control is extremely useful early game, and we can also swap out this spell later on when we get the Woodland Being, because then we can also just use them to hold our concentration. For our next level spell, Moonbeam is also nice for the radiant damage, so you can take that or Heat Metal. Both of these are good. I'm going to ignore resistances. I'll go with Moonbeam here. And for our feat, I think that ability score improvement to max out our wisdom is going to be our best bet here. And once we hit level 5, get our proficiency bonus added to our companion's armor class and damage rolls. We also get an extra attack subclass feature, so you can make an extra attack. You don't have to go full spell casting. You can, I guess, go with this. But we also get the Hardened Branch to make magic surrounding your weapon also makes it harder than the rest of its kind. We also get ourselves Haste, very powerful spell, as well as Mass Healing Word. And we get to choose some level 3 spells, so Call Lightning's nice for just a good spell to have that's consistent damage, but you do have to have a concentration on it. Plant Growth is nice, but fire will remove it really quickly. Tidal Wave is nice for the water setup and knocking targets prone. This is good if you have like a Storm Sorcerer alongside you or a lightning or cold damage dealer, because then you can make ice surfaces with this. Counterspell is also extremely useful, so we're going to go with Counterspell here. Just for being able to shut down other spellcasters. At level 6, we get to choose another spell, and I think Tidal Wave just makes sense here. Again, we're not going to use water or any spells that really benefit from it a lot, but you also have scrolls that you could use. We also at level 7 get the Dash, Disengage, and Help bonus action for our companion, and we get to now take our Myrmidons, or I guess the Elementals, and we can replace spell taking off our Spike Growth and now taking the Woodland Being, which will hold our concentration on it for us, so we don't have to have our concentration tied up there. At level 8, we get to choose another leveled spell. Ice Storm is great, but Wall of Fire just makes sense here for the theme of this build. So we're going to go with that, and we can take an ability score improvement to up our dexterity for melee attacks. If we go with our dexterity, we can focus on like Valor, Aloof of a weapon. We also get ourselves the Spirits of Summer, which does radiant damage. You can call for basically Spirit Guardians. And also Burn the Wicked, which does fire and radiant damage, and you channel all the heat and radiance of summer midday to burn your enemies. Pretty cool. We also at this level get Conjure Elemental, which is really useful. I typically like the wood water elemental. We can go with a fire one for haste. Our animal companion at level 10 gets extra attack, and we get the awakened branch, so we can turn our club and staff into formidable weapons, and this becomes pretty strong. We also get ourselves another choice in spell, and I think that the insect flag works very well in this build. At level 11, we get the Burning Revenge, which does 20d6 fire damage. Open your soul and gather all the anger caused by misdeeds towards nature and direct in a flaming spear from heck. And then we also get the Globe of Invulnerability. Very powerful spell, because that can just completely save your team. And we get ourselves a spell. I think Conjure Fey is nice, since it's included in the Druid spell list. This is, again, from Mistress Spells. And for the final level, we can go with Fisher. But Wall of Thorns is also decently strong, too. And for our feat, I think the alert feat for +5 initiative just works very well for us. So, yeah, we got some pretty strong options here for damage. Now, what we're going to want to do is, I guess for armor, if you got, I guess, light armor, the easiest choice would be like the Armor of Landfall, which will give us increased spell save DC. This is a land druid focused piece of armor. However, if you're in late game, Helldesk armor just ends up being the best choice, so we're going to roll with that for the better armor class selection. And then with this, we can also go with our Viconia's Walking Fortress. This would be ideal circumstances. If you don't have this armor, that's fine. You can also go with, again, you got the light armor's choices there. Really, whatever works best for you to get that +1 armor class. This is one of the best shields, the best staffs in the game. But if you got early game options, you can go with Mistra's Staff of Spell Power early game. Also for weapons, you can go with Fowler Alluve too. That can be pretty useful. I guess we're not proficient in longsword, so if you have the proficiency, if you're a Gith, you can go that route. We're typically going to want to use clubs, so we got ourselves Marka Heshkir here. If you do, you can drop a strength potion too. That'll empower your attacks. We're going to go with the Hood of the Weave, Cloak of Protection, Helldesk Gloves for extra fire damage on our attacks. Just makes sense thematically here, and also increase spell save DC, and Evasive Shoes, Ring of Protection. I also want the Crypt Lord Ring for the free Create Undead, and the Amulet of Greater Health, although you can swap this out for the Killer Sweetheart for free critical. That actually works pretty well here. So yeah, this ends up working out to being a pretty strong build. We do want to set up though, like we got our classic companions here. You can go with the regular bear companion, or we also have the Oakheart Sentinels companions, which has some unique options. So you got like the Spirit Eagle, Tainted Bear, Blink Dog, Saber Cat, Winter Wolf, and the Owl Bear. I'll bring out the Tainted Bear here to show this one off. It's an Angry Bear Spirit, and then it also has the Ursine reinforcement, so you can summon in another bear. And yeah, this is just nice. It also has a Honeyed Paw and claws. So this one kind of feels thematic. We got this nice red glowing bear that goes alongside us. Conjure Minor Elemental, I'd recommend taking in the Azure, because they deal fire damage. So it, again, fits thematically with our builds. We got the Conjure Woodland Being, so whenever we summon this in, what's nice about the Woodland Being is they can also summon someone in, and they got ourselves Spike Growth. So we got the Fallen Lover, which we can summon. So yeah, we got lots of summons. It's kind of the Druid mixed with the homebrew that we got here. We can also swap over the Staff of Spell Power to give ourselves a free cast of our Water or Myrmidons, and we'll take the Fire one for theme purposes. It can also haste itself, so it's pretty strong. So there it is. We got our Fire Myrmidon, and then we can swap our staff back to Marka Heshkir, and we also got another free cast, which we can use to bring in Conjure Fey. I'd recommend the Dust Hag. The Hag's pretty strong. So there's another summon for us. We got all of our summons. We could also summon us if you got us. I won't for the purpose of this video, but yeah, the Orb of Summer is pretty fun for early game damage. But I'll show off what this looks like in combat here. I also like to precast if you got Mirror Image up, because this will give us an increase to our armor class. It's pretty nice, so we can actually get ourselves very buffed up. And then what this ends up looking like is we got ourselves a 39 armor class, so that's really strong. We also got ourselves the Awakened Branch, which we can use to buff up our attack, so we can apply this and it'll further strengthen our damage with our staff. And then we can also go with Kareska's Favor. I don't normally like the Flames of Wrath, but it fit thematically for this, so that'll give us fire damage on our attacks, and also gives us a free cast of Fireball and Firewall, so that we can just dish out a little bit more damage. But typically what we want to be doing for damage, we also got ourselves Spirits of the Summer we can apply, so we can pop that up. And I have no idea what just happened there. Everyone has Spirit Guardians. I don't know. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but cool. We'll roll with it. So I guess my team also got called into this. I'll just run them away so that they don't get involved. I don't know why everybody got Spirit Guardians, but we use up one of our actions. But we can drop down a wall of fire, which is just going to be nice for extra damage because this will be up and it ignores all resistances, which is perfect. Exactly what we wanted. This did pull more enemies into the fight. That's fine. They're all at the back there. And there may be some over here, which if you got the Illithid ability Mind Blast, that's going to be one of the most powerful spells that we have. So we can just finish people off really early, just before the fight even starts. Hopefully this will remove all of them. Boom, it stunned them either way. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with all these Spirit Guardians flying around, but we'll just embrace the chaos as we do. And what's also nice is our Myrmidon also has the Myrmidon's Immolation, so you can apply haste to itself for 3 turns. So you want to get in and just start blasting with it. Cinderous swipes here. So that hit for some fire damage there. Didn't take it out fully, but that's okay. We'll just leave him there. I guess I'll move my teammates away from the combat just because it's getting pretty hectic there with all those Spirit Guardians. And the Wall of Fire took that target out perfect. Our Call the Weak is very ideal here. And the reason being is Call the Weak will proc anytime we deal damage. And hopefully these Spirit Guardians can cause some ruckus of pain. We'll also go with a Spike Growth here, which won't... It'll get burned, but I was hoping I would be able to take a target out there. They saved on a 3 health left. That happens, but we'll just let it chill there. We also have our Dust Hag, which is stuck and it can't move, but we can hopefully hit them and finish them off. Nice, perfect, took them out. That's exactly what we wanted. So yeah, everyone's got Spirit Guardians for some reason. Ooh, we got a long list of counter spells that we can go with, so we'll just counter spell that. No casting around us. But yeah, fire and radiant damage is the big focus of this build. I will drop down our big fireball whenever it's my next turn. But we got ourselves the Azure as well, which can do some damage, and it's got the Searing Smite, so we can use that. It got hurt by the Spirit Guardians, but it was able to take them out, so that's perfect. And yeah, it's this is chaotic. No other way to put it. Just pure chaos. I guess we can use this to cause an immobilization, so we can bind them. Twisting Vines there holds them in place. We got our bear, and I guess to use the bear I'll have to go through my Spike Growth, and it doesn't have enough movement, so we'll just let the bear chill there. They're stunned, and oh, they just went for a gale and tripped them. That's fine, we'll let them do their turns. So on our turn we also have stacks of Gripped by Kreska's Flames, so this will gather 8 turns of heat. But we also have our Super Blaster, Burning Revenge, which does a lot of damage, so we're going to want to pop that off. And I guess we can't... Oh, I dropped it there. I did not mean to drop it there. I don't know what's going on. Casted Failed Counterspell. Interesting. Boom. That took them out. 79, 73. Yeah, that hits hard. No doubt about it, that hits hard. So, yeah, I guess we could just use a Mind Sanctuary here so that we can get ourselves an extra action. I guess that's like really the only move that we got right now. And Heat Convergence, so we can apply our fire on an attack. I guess we should get in and do an attack at some point just to show that off. And we lost our haste on our thing there, but we can always reapply it. And I guess we'll just go with a Scorching Strike on this target here. Boom. And next turn it'll have 2 actions, so we'll skip all my teammates' turns. We can also we can reapply Spike Growth if we ever find that we're not in an ideal spot for it. I'm not going to move them because Spirit Guardians is everywhere and it's hurting my team. And I want to counterspell that fire fire elemental. We definitely don't want that messing with us. So now that I got my Mind Sanctuary up, I can now drop a fireball as an action or a bonus action, and they blocked it. Of course they did. But the problem, or the thing that I don't care about, is I can always drop it again. So yeah, we can also upcast it now. I don't have any concentrations active, so Insect Plague can also be a decent one to drop. But I guess we could go with even a Wall of Fire here just to oh, I did not mean to make it that small. That was a mistake. Of course. I can't run all the way over there because I will get Mind Flare, or I'll get the the nether brain will be pissed, so I can't run up there, but I can also drop just an orb of summer there. Or I guess I will go with an insect plague and actually drop a actual spell there, because that wall of fire is pretty garbage. So that'll slow them down or take them out. Hopefully the latter of the two. And then hopefully I can get in to do an attack on someone as well. That was not super ideal because this guy won't be able to make it over there, but I can try to bring him to the edge of it and just drop a fire attack. Boom. Cinderous swipes. All the Spirit Guardians are pretty crazy. I just want to get in a melee attack now just to show off that extra attack feature, but yeah, we're in a rough shape right now because of all the spirit, all the crowd control in general. It just makes it hard to move around here. Another one bites the dust from our Spirit Guardians. So with our Spirit Guardians, that'll deal damage to them, but we also got ourselves a Searing Smite, which we can use. It will remove our concentrations, but it hits pretty hard for fire damage. But that was able to take out everybody. Our Spirit Guardians, it's doing its thing. We just destroyed this place with fire, but yeah, that is the SUNWATCHER Oakheart Sentinel, which is a very fun subclass made by Nightly. I've posted builds for the other Oakheart Sentinels, so you can check those all out as well. But yeah, this one's a fun fire and radiant damage focused build. So yeah, hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.